Hey everyone, what's up? We have a new build for you today, and today we're going to be focusing on Titans. I would have done a Warlock build this week, but I just really wanted to get this one out there. And today may not be the greatest build, but we are using the weapon, which sticks in the mind of Bungie devs. Their worst nightmare, their greatest adversary, the plague on the game, Telesto. Now, Telesto, not that great at anything. Not boss damage, not major clear. Ad clear, it's okay, but it's a special weapon. So, this build, I wouldn't say it's the most viable build out there, but it's fun to use Telesto sometimes. Basically, the reason we're using Telesto is elemental wells. It's void, so if you're using a void subclass, it can spawn void wells. But also, it's explosive. And that's where most of its damage comes from, so if you have Explosive Wellmaker on, it can spawn solar wells also. Now, exotic-wise, I wanted to lean more support, especially since I want to use Commander. Even though I forget the main point of Commander is the big shield, just because detonators are so good. And the detonators actually mesh really well with Telesto. You throw out a grenade or something, maybe a melee, and you set a bunch of detonators out, and then you hit them with Telesto. Telesto has a good chance of popping the detonators, spreading them, and just continuing a chain of exploding enemies, making solar and void wells along the way. So there are some mods and exotics we do use in this to make it better. To keep the support up, I'm using Precious Scars. I revive my allies and they spawn with an overshield. I get an overshield that's massive. It's great. If they revive me, same thing. Also, if I get kills with Telesto, I get to heal myself and my team. That's a pretty nice buff. You know, just getting health for getting kills with Telesto while spawning void and solar elemental wells. But let's just talk mods for a moment. Of course, we're going to want Particle Deconstruction, best mod this season, great for fusions, and since we're using it, we might as well throw a Threaded Needle in our heavy slot, just for extra damage. You could throw Reeds on, but it's just kind of up to you on that. But for our combat style mods, we'll want, you know, Explosive Wellmaker to make solar wells. We'll want Elemental Armaments to make those void wells. But Font of Might is great, that way Telesto could do more damage, paired with Particle Deconstruction is great, and that's another reason why you can use Threaded Needle is for the void damage boost. Another thing that you want is Well of Tenacity. Well of Tenacity, pick up a void well and you get resistance. It's kind of like Protective Light. I'd say it's not as good, but if you're using an Elemental Well build and you're able to spawn plenty of void wells, it is a very nice mod to have, especially since you'll have to push up to grab it. And then for our last elemental well mod, I chose Well of Ordnance. You pick up a solar well and you get more grenade energy. More grenades, more throwing grenades, more solar elemental wells, more grenades. That means more detonators and just more kills. It's kind of the basic idea of this build. I threw on an auto rifle with anti-barrier on it just to, you know, break barriers. Other than that, is mostly like this season's fusion, linear fusion scav, some linear fusion, or no, not linear, just normal fusion rifle reserve perks, ammo finder, just things like that. It wasn't too specific on things. I would probably throw on a resistance if I was running it again. Just because Telesto's Catalyst gives it deeper reserves in the first place, so you really don't need it. But where this build excels is like massive thrall ways. Like if a lot of enemies that are ads spawn in, you can just use Telesto and it does a pretty good job at taking them out. Where it does fail is fighting singular enemies that have health. So Proving Ground's not a great strike for it. I'll just be blunt about it. Oh yeah, and I did use Unstoppable Fusion and Linear Fusion. I just felt like, being that it's Proving Grounds, that'd be good, but Proving Grounds just isn't the strike for it. Within Gambit, this might be a good loadout, but things like Broodhold, which do have big Thrall spawns at some points, or Hollowed Layer even, at the end, when he spawns all the Scorn over and over again, Telesto could be viable for that. But Proving Grounds, Cabal just have too much health generally, but something like Scorn or Hive, which aren't quite as tanky, or even Fallen, if you have big groups of them, or even, you know, medium-sized groups of them, Telesto can do good work. And if you get multi-kills with Telesto, it reloads itself. So when you have those bigger groups of enemies, that's where Telesto excels. And this strike just doesn't have low enough health enemies for that to really matter. Battlegrounds would be decent for this. Yeah. There's a lot of places where this doesn't succeed, but it is really fun when it does. Sorrow's Harbor, or yeah. If you're there for any reason and you just want to grind it or whatever for a Blasphemer or something, with a new player or whatever you're doing, I think this build is really fun and you could try it out there. But Proving Grounds, again, not the strike for it. You can definitely use it. It just won't be great. I think Ariana's Vow is just very important here because of it has anti-barrier and range. Other suggestions that I had for this, if you're using an auto rifle for anti-barrier, so if you need an anti-barrier, I use Chroma Rush, but something like Last Breath might be very good since it does have Osmosis on it, and it's generally pretty good on stats. Chroma Rush is too, but Osmosis is great for Precious Scars because you'll be able to heal your allies with your primary. And if you want to use a bow in your kinetic slot, there's Whispering Slab. I think that's about it for legendary kinetic bows, at least at the moment. So that's about it for this build. It's just really fun. Is it practical? Not really. I just thought using Telesto, especially after Bungie did so much work to change it, was fun. And you can spawn in a lot of wells on lower level enemies. So if you're running like normal Vanguard strikes, you can use it. Gambit, it's good. But if you take it to a Nightfall, don't have high expectations, is basically what I'm saying here. Anyways, this is a fun build to use, and that's about it for it. So before I go, I just want to say, hey, what's up? I have a Twitter. I tweet there. Yeah, maybe you should go follow that. Pinned comment down below. Same with my Discord server. I'm trying to get back into not LFG on there, but like being more active on there. I haven't been active on there in too long. I just want to start playing with people again on there. Also, another thing I do every Monday and Tuesday on this channel, I do live stream. I don't have a separate channel set up for it, so I'm taking a hit with watch time and all that. I don't really care. But yeah, just come around, and I'm not quite sure what we'll be doing Monday and Tuesday this week, but it should be a lot of fun. Come hang out, just talk. Yeah, and that's it. Yeah, thanks for watching. Maybe share it, subscribe, like, comment, all that, and I'll see you next time. Thank you.